morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Sunday the 25th of October. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks, bearish start to the morning for Bitcoin. Going to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 13.062 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 13.243. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high, 13.178, and break through to 13,200 levels. Barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 13,200 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Bitcoin test resistance at 13,500 before any pullback. Second major resistance sits at 13,358. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 12,947 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, should see Bitcoin steer clear of sub 12,800 levels. Second major support level sits at 12,766. Looking at the MACD this morning, we've got a narrowing of that bullish histogram and a possible bearish cross, so we need to keep an eye on the MACD. On the moving averages, we've got the 50 pulling away marginally from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a bullish morning ahead. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot 13.062 and break out from yesterday's high to move through to 13,200 levels to deliver upside on the day. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fallback through the pivot at 412.33 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 417.25. Support from the broader market to break out from 415 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect the first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 417 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should test resistance at 420 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 421.93. Better to move through the pivot level, just falling back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 407.65 into play. Barring extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of sub 405 levels. Second major support level sits at 402.73. Looking at the MACD, we've got a slight narrowing of the bearish histograms, but nothing to suggest a bullish morning ahead. On the moving averages, we're also seeing the 50 flatten out and a slight narrowing on the 100 and the 200, supportive of this early morning pullback. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 412.33 and at breakout from 415 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and you got support levels in play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, particularly bearish start to the morning here after yesterday's breakout. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fall back through the pivot at 57.96 to support a run at the first major resistance level at 61.01. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from 60 levels, however, plenty of resistance there. So barring extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of another breakout, could see Litecoin visit 62 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level at 62.72 should cap any upside. Fall back through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 56.25 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should steer clear of the 23.6% fib at 54. Looking at the MACD, we've got the bearish cross late yesterday and a widening of the bearish histogram this morning, supportive of this early morning pullback. On the EMA, we've got the 50 holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, however, suggestive of further upside on the day. So key through the early part of the morning, avoid a fall back through the pivot, break out through to 60 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, also bearish tracking the broader market. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fallback through the pivot at 0.2555 to support a run at the first major resistance level of 2583. Going to need to see a crypto rally for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high. That was at 0.25751. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, Ripple's XRP should test resistance at 0.26 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.2603. A fallback through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 0.2535 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should still well clear of sub 0.25 levels. Second major support level at 0.2507 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a marked narrowing of the bullish histograms, supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMA, we've seen a narrowing of the 50 on the 100 and the 200, also supportive of this bearish start to the day. So failure to hold above that pivot level would bring support levels into play. Look out for a move through yesterday's high, 0.25751, to bring resistance levels into play.